Let's look at example 7. Okay, let's remember that it is important for us to read the question first. Don't just straight away jump into doing the question by looking at the diagram. Okay, so it says that it is a parallelogram ABCD, right? So in our mind, we should always register that there are two pairs of parallel lines. And then you have APQ, BRQ, CRS, DPS. All these are straight lines which bisect angle ABCD respectively. Now this is a key information. Okay, so it says that it bisects, so all these angles are actually equals. I mean, not all four of them are equals necessarily. It depends on the condition, but it bisects. It cut the angle into half. Okay, right, there's important information there that you must remember. Right, let's do the first one. PAD equals to RCB. So where is it? PAD is right here. RCB is right here. So I want to prove that I want to show that these two angles are equals to each other. So what do? First, I look at the diagram. I take the first information given to me. It is a parallelogram. So when it is a parallelogram, it essentially means that the opposite angle of a parallelogram are equals to each other. Why? Because of the parallel line. Okay, let me use orange color, thicker one. Because I have parallel lines, and these lines are also parallel to each other, which means that this angle on this side, I can move it to this side, and you have alternate angle. Right, so I want you to be able to move it in your head. So when I move it, I will get that the two angles opposite are the same. So therefore, what I can conclude here is angle BAD is equal to angle DCB, and the reason is because they are opposite angles of parallelogram. Then once I've proven that they are equal, the two green color angle they are just labeled here are equals to each other, then I can also say that BAD divided by 2 is equal to angle DCB over 2, right? Because both are being bisect by the lines there. So therefore, divide by 2, then I'll get PAD, right? And I'll get RCB. So easily shown. So part A is pretty simple. Part B, now they want us to prove that ADP and CBR are congruent to each other. So I hope you still remember that there are a few congruency tests, and we need to decide what information are given to us. Okay, so before we start doing, let us take a look at the triangle. I'm gonna erase all these markers here, so I can have a clean look. Once again, please use pencil when you are labeling on the diagram. Okay, now they want you to prove these two triangles to be congruent to each other. Okay, so if I want to prove these two triangles to be congruent to each other, there are a few ways to do it. I can use 3 signs, or I can use angles, but in this case, most likely I can use angles and one side, because they are parallelogram, means that this side and this side is gonna be of the same length. Okay, so I have one length already. What else do I have? What else can I use? I can use angles to prove it, right? I need reasons for all my proving. So let's take a look. CDA is this angle. I'm gonna start from this corner first. CDA is this angle, and ABC is this angle. So I can prove that opposite sides are equal, and then just like part A, I can divide by 2, and I find it. And in part A, I have already proven that this and this are equals to each other. Correct or not? So I have angle that I found in part A, and I have another angle that I'm gonna write down later the steps. So I found this, all these three, okay? And then does the length have to be a length that must be included in between my angles? As mentioned in the previous videos, it is not necessary for it to be included, because once you find two angles, actually it is automatically proven that the third angle is also going to be the same. Okay, so therefore when it comes to two angles, it doesn't matter whether the length is included or not. So here I'm going to write down my reason. Let's write down what I have for my first part first. PAD is equal to angle RCB. This is given, so you don't need to write any reason because I already have it in part A. They told us that they are the same already. Now the second one, the length. I know that the length AD is going to be equal to CB because of opposite side of a parallelogram. So I know that they're going to be equal in the opposite side. Then the last side is the angle. As mentioned, it's the same working as part A. We know that CDA is the same as ABC because of opposite angles of parallelogram. And CDA divided by 2 is equal to ABC divided by 2, which will then give us the angle that we need. Angle PDA is going to be equal to angle RBC. So therefore, I have angle, side, and angle. So what proof do I use? It's either ASA or AAS, whichever that you write also can, because hopefully you still remember from the previous lesson that they are the same thing. So triangle ADP and triangle CBR are congruent with reason AAS congruent test. Okay, shown. Or if you want to write it as ASA, also can. They are the same thing. Right, that's all for this video. Please watch the next video for the RHS test, okay, section number 5.